This NFL preseason week 1 picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN.
Hey everybody, Joe Theismann here. You're listening to SGPN. So do this, let it ride.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man. San Diego Superchargers. Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stuck in the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
The games count. Not really.
No,
but the bets count.
No, the bets do count. You can win real money betting on the NFL preseason, as we did last week, Ryan, where we were both correctly on the Chargers.
Sound like a newsie on the corner.
Bolt up! Shout out to the Chargers. Nice work. We did our Chargers team preview last night. If you've been missing some of the team previews, go back, catch up, get involved. Again, 1 word per episode for the team previews. 32 episodes in order. 32 words. Complete the phrase that pays. Then you submit the phrase that pays. 1 lucky winner will spin the wheel. 1 lucky winner will get $1,000 circa NFL future. Kramer, what do you think if you were a winner, now you're not eligible to win the phrase that pays, what would you put your $1,000 circa future?
Single future?
Yes. 1 ticket. That's all you get. I'm not splitting up the ticket and 200 on this, 300 on that, 550. No,
just clarify.
$1,000, 1 ticket. Now you can do some parlays, and Circuit does allow you to parlay division winners.
I already do have $1,000 future, so I'll put that bias. I'll put that bias aside.
Liam Cohen, Coach of the Year.
I would maybe if I fancied my team a Super Bowl contender, maybe I would look. Short answer is I'm gonna go for a longer shot.
Okay.
Than I am like a 4-1, 3-1, something like that. So I would take my favorite. Maybe Josh Sweat, which by the way, you see his props, his alt sack numbers are just tumbling. This is a guy who's going to be near the top of the board for sacks. I have 500 to 1 in my pocket, defensive player of the year. Still can get 300 to 1 out of the circa.
Well, and if you're thinking, oh, hey, Nolan Smith, his number, I gave it out at 100 to 1 at circa. It's now down to 55 to 1.
Really? It went up first, but now it's
it did.
Down.
It went up to 135 to 1, and then
early trendsetter. Yes. You're like cargo pants in the 90s. They're gonna be cool.
I was ahead of my time, but it's. I mean, football season is here. I cannot wait. We got NFL preseason week 1. Kramer, besides the games, and I have some strong takes on these games.
Really. Gambling on the preseason is just silly. How could you possibly have serious takes on these games?
I think.
I was just being the internet posturing. I think there's imposing a moral compass on me.
If you kind of keep up with what the coaches are going to do, the starter situation, maybe fading starters, being skeptical, and kind of, getting the information right on the right side. I think it's not crazy at all. And to me, the biggest thing is leaning into coaches who care about the preseason, fading the coaches that don't. You got a great trend that you've been playing on the joint practice angle.
And real quick, Sean, and I'll get to that in a second, but I also think we have to address what's happening.
What's that?
It seems now I am not always the best to remember things in the short, long-term history. So like, last 2 to 5 years, I don't recall people being so hardo. I've solved NFL preseason. I don't remember so many segments dedicated to, episodes dedicated to, I know preseason football. I don't remember so many people releasing quarterback depth charts as if they're the first people to figure out how to put a quarterback depth chart together. I mean, I could be wrong. But it seems like there's more and more people saying I've unlocked the key to preseason football, and it's creating some crazy market behavior because here's what I think's going on. The pandemic fucked a lot of things up. And one of the things it fucked up was it brought us to a place where preseason, the approach of preseason, because I even went back to check my own notes. It was not common in the mid 2010s for players to just completely not play the preseason. There were a handful of veteran players who maybe, but everyone was getting out there and getting some reps. And so there
was a formula. I mean,
this pendulum swinging, and there were 4 games. But game 3 was treated like a full fucking game. You were playing at least a half.
Yeah,
it was a tune-up game. Now there's none of that shit, and so we went to this period where everyone just said fuck the preseason from a play standpoint.
Yeah.
Regular season, it starts to look like shit at the beginning of the season because no one's hitting in preseason. Everyone's pretending like it's Navy football during the pandemic. And I think we're just seeing the pendulum swing all the way now, where this year people are like, well, this team is starting their starters in preseason week 1. This team is starting their starters. Sean, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. We're still going to get 3 quarters of players trying to make the team. Like, what am I missing here? We're seeing lines move 6 points. We're seeing teams that should not be catching more than a field goal, catching more than a field goal. Why? Because we're going to get 3 series out of Joe Burrow. Because we're going to see some starters playing Indy who might fucking suck anyway. I do think that, and again, I could be completely misreading the situation. It just seems like also the market, the movement. We've not seen so much movement on numbers in the preseason that I can remember. Can you?
Yeah, I don't
like news-based movement like this. That isn't like historically it's a 60 something % trend to just steam chase in the preseason.
Yeah.
Just chase the movement. I don't know if I think I'm fading that this year.
Yeah, no, I think you're in your head a little bit, but
really?
I would say
you don't think that there's more action on these numbers than typical, and counterintuitive action based on like a starter playing a couple snaps.
No, here's what I would say to your point, going back to your original point of it used to be everyone played to some degree pre-pandemic, especially. And then teams like the Rams were like, hey, we don't need to play our guys in the preseason. And certain teams started slowly dwindling that down. In 2020, where we had the pandemic, no one played the preseason, and they're like, "Oh, okay, we still had a football season. Fuck it, I guess we don't need preseason."
But now we're talking a lot about playing these guys this year.
Well, this year, teams like the Bengals, who were, hey, we've always gotten off to a slow start. We're going to play preseason. There's a couple teams that have quarterback competitions. Hey, we're going to let Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones play in the quarterback competition. I mean, like for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson barely ever plays, but guys like Josh Allen always plays a little bit. Patrick Mahomes likes to play a series.
But that's my point. I don't think the pendulum isn't going to push everyone. But now we're playing a half of our ones.
Yeah.
And so why are we adjusting numbers so drastically?
Well, to your point, and to me, it's a game by game thing. The Cincinnati Bengals.
Lamar never played. They were a great team, winning games.
Cincinnati said, "Hey, we're gonna try and play." Now, Zach Taylor said a couple of series that could be 10 plays of Joe Burrow. Now we're back to the backups with the Eagles. Now that game is interesting because the Eagles are a team that don't care about the preseason at all. You won't. Now maybe you'll see like a couple starters on defense working in. Maybe you see Cooper DeJean have a couple reps at safety or something like that. But for the most part, no offensive starters are going to play for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm fine with that. I am totally fine not playing the starters. I get if your team wants to play your starters, fine. I don't think it's a huge deal one way or the other, but yeah, there certainly is going to be some handicapping. I think it's been the same as far as the content. I haven't noticed like, oh wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, maybe it's the combination of the teams talking more about playing their starters.
I think
the follow up to that is people are reacting to that news as if it should have an impact on the number. And I think that if you think, I'll go as far to say that if you think Joe Burrow playing 3 series should have an impact on the number to the tune of whatever the number
7.5 points,
you're out of your fucking mind. You're out of your mind, because you know what it's about? It's about the guys further down the depth chart. So yeah, teams that are better, probably going to have better depth. Teams that traditionally try in the preseason, it's cultural. It's Tomlin's teams winning the preseason, not because they're starting quarterbacks, because the culture of Mike Tomlin is making you fucking hit.
So, and if the Eagles do see some starters, and they haven't really talked much about who they're going to play, but if they do see some starters, and they're pretty deep on defense. You look at their 3 games last year, none of those games got more than 30 points combined. The Eagles are a very good under team. Now, the first game they did lose 26-3 to the Vikings in the preseason game, but other than that, they won 14-3 against the Pats. They won 16-13 against the Ravens. I don't think, I would be surprised if they let up a ton of points. So now you're getting Tanner McKee, who is a pretty good backup quarterback, getting 6.5, 7 points. I think this team has gone too far, but there's a lot of there's a lot of I'm excited to talk about these games. What about just the players themselves? There's a couple guys I do want to see. I want to see what Caleb Williams looks like. I want to see what JJ McCarthy looks like. Quinn Ewers is a guy I kind of want to see. Anthony Richardson supposedly has had some moments in camp. I'm skeptical.
Well, obviously, playing guys that are going to be relevant at some point in the regular season is way more interesting from a viewership too.
Yeah,
I mean, I think I'm definitely. I mean, there's nothing better than watching the replay, the cut up replay of these preseason games. But yeah, I want to see how all of this stuff looks. I want to see how Jackson Dart looks. I want to see. I would. There's pretty much a narrative in every game where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to tune in for this. But I'm just shocked. Also, like in years past, Sean, when we've seen a preseason game with a number bigger than 3.5, we're like, what the fuck is going on here? What are we doing? There's so many basically touchdown spreads, Sean.
Yeah,
I'm
over.
I think you're wrong to not see that there's something very different about this preseason.
I mean, I appreciate your conspiracy theory brain.
And then, yeah, furthermore, other macro trend, which by the way, if you listen to VSiN, almost every one of these numbers has come down a point since we first discussed this last Friday night, Sean. But last year, joint practice games, 14-5 to the under. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could challenge me on which under number. It's the number we recorded the podcast at. So 14-5 last year, joint practice unders. I think we have 7 this week, and we have, I want to say, another dozen or so. And so we'll talk about them as we go, but I'll also give you the future ones so you can get down on those unders early. And yeah, like I said, last year 14-5 overall, Sean, but they were 2-3 in the final week. In the first 2 weeks, 12-2 to the under.
So this is basically teams who played joint practice that are still playing the preseason game later in the week.
Which generally that's all it is now. So what the general formula is: you have a 2-day, you have a couple teams. There might be a 3-day practice and maybe a couple 1-day practices, but basically you have a 2-day scripted practice with another team that you're going to play that weekend.
Yeah.
And so what makes sense that you're going to let the variable of a game dictate injury to your better players, or you're like, these are the games where I do think you're going to see more of the stuff scripted into the practice, and the game is going to be more about trying out the guys that are on the bubble. And I also think when you've seen each other for a week or 2 days, you're less likely to be surprised. And so the thesis of the games going under, again, almost all of them have moved in that direction. So you want to start?
Yeah, let's.
It's not a real. We can't possibly talk for 10 minutes a game here, so we'll go quickly.
Before we get into it, of course, shout out to UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Get in over there, get the deposit match up to $1,000. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. We're going to, I think, as we go along, Ryan, I'll toss in some underdog fantasy projections for these games. If you got any players there, toss those out. Maybe as the episode goes along, we'll put together a little 3-entry pick'em.
Works for me.
For the audience. There's a couple strong ones that I definitely feel pretty good about. And again, I mean, if you get ahead of some of this information, certainly is a good spot to be in. And Best Ball Mania, super fun way to get ready for fantasy football. $2 million at first. I mean, if you're not on Underdog, what are you waiting for? UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN, and of course, head over to mybookie.ag. Use a promo code SGPN. Deposit now up to 100% match up to $1,000. Now you have to. There's a rollover requirement, but if you're loading up for football season, it's pretty nice to have a 100% match there. Terms and conditions do apply. So read the fine print, but load up now, get a little preseason action going. Some of these lines are pretty juicy over at mybookie.ag. You deposit easily with cryptocurrency, withdrawal even easier. Mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Kramer, first game. What do we got?
All right. So a handful of 3 games on Thursday, some Thursday night football, aka probably today as you're listening. Colts, Ravens. So this is a game. Colts are laying 6 on the road here, minus 270 on the money line. Ravens plus 220, 36.5 is the total. So this total was 34.5 when we discussed it on Friday, Sean. I believe it's the only one that's gone up. It's gone up 2 full points.
Wow.
Again, why? Because Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson are starting. Stop it already.
Yes.
So this is not only a joint practice game. So we're going to take the under 36.5. But this is also not necessarily a fade one coach back the other, but the Ravens historically have been amazing in the preseason, and you can say, hey, not so fast. They haven't covered the number. They're the dog now.
Yeah.
They're not the favorites anymore.
No, if you look at last year, they were 0-3 ATS, but they were very close games. They don't completely punt, and yeah, they've been on a bad run ATS. I think they've failed to cover the last 7 games, but they were still winning a bunch of those games. They were massive favorites. Everyone remembers they had that crazy streak of 25 games in a row that they were won, and they were covering a lot of those. I mean, Harbaugh, even with this streak of losing 7 in a row ATS, he's still 40-21 ATS. Now this
he's
number
still a Harbaugh.
This number is up to 6 points.
Crazy.
That is crazy. I think the money line's live. Definitely the 6 points. I'm with you on. I'm gonna tail your. That's the only thing I'm doing with these totals is just the under on these joint practice angles. I think it's a good angle, and I'll continue to ride it.
That was at 4 p.m. here on the West Coast. Next up at 4:30 on the West Coast, we got the Eagles and the Bengals in Philly.
Any potential underdog stuff you find interesting? Cooper Rush, his number set at 122.5. I mean, that right there shows you that this game is going to be competitive. Anthony Richardson, the 6-point favorite, his is at 71.5.
It's so hard to play those. Honestly, like what I would, the things that I'm going to try to focus on, the things that I did best at in the Hall of Fame game and in general is just figuring out which receivers. Like going back, combing through, finding the receivers that are just playing with the backups. Like who's the guy Shador's throwing?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like Jackson Dart, it's Montrell Washington. It's like he's probably earned his spot as backup slot.
Tyler Warren. I guess he might not be out there enough.
Yeah. Again, it's tricky too because you almost need to figure out the play reps, and they usually don't. They probably haven't had that press conference where they kind of talk about who's going to play what. So yeah, I don't have a good read on either of these teams. Honestly, I probably have some better takes on some of the games coming up. Anyway, Bengals laying 6 minus 240 on the money line. Eagles plus 190, 37.5 is the total. Does stand out as a high total. Now, I guess you're assuming that the Bengals are going to come out and score 2 touchdown drives with Joe Burrow or something like that when the starters are out there.
Yeah. But as I highlighted last year, like Fangio doesn't get embarrassed in the preseason. I'm skeptical that the Bengals are going to completely light it up. I'm not doing anything with the total.
Both of these coaches are fade too, by the way.
Yeah, Zach Taylor and Sirianni.
Now you could probably I think people have clearly come to the conclusion that they've found a reason as to why Bengals should be laying a big number here. I don't think I can ever lay, unless I have a really good reason. I don't see why I would lay a big number in the preseason.
Yeah, I get it. The syndicates, the sharps, they're all over Cincy, and they moved this number. But I think now it's gotten to the point where I will when it was at 3, when it was like less than 3. I mean, Eagles, I think were 1.5 when it opened or something crazy.
I'm looking at the bet splits right now. So 82% of the handle is on the Bengals.
Yeah, I will fade that. I will take the Eagles +6. But honestly, the thing that jumps out at me is the Tanner McKee passing yards. Now, of course, if you watch the Eagles camp, Tanner McKee was fired up. He got a comically low rating in Madden. He is done
What was it? 61,
61 or something.
You know, the NFL is hard.
This Bengals defense is not deep. The Eagles have some decent depth at receiver. I think 93.5 is way too low for his passing yards. You look at what he did in game 1 of last year's preseason. He was up to 120.
I can say this.
They only put up 3 points and he threw for 115 yards. And that was with 3 quarterbacks playing. Now maybe I don't have a good handle on how long he plays. And then certainly they drafted Kyle McCord. So maybe they want to give him a little bit more run, but I think they're going to let Tanner go. And 93.5, I'm taking the higher.
Yeah, no, I would I would probably take the higher before I took the lower. I think in general, the if I was handicapping, this is another area where I think everyone's getting it wrong. I don't care about the caliber of player. How long have you been in the system? Have I seen you play in the preseason before?
Yes.
And do you have familiarity throwing to these guys? I think that's the stuff that really matters. Yeah, you can't lay the points with Cincy. So this is a Philly, and I guess I'm not playing the total here.
No, I don't. There's stuff I like more than this game, certainly.
Yeah. The Eagles Bengals game is maybe I would look to play like a first quarter number on the Bengals potentially, but even then I'm not.
I think you're just playing with fire because
I want to fade all the people overreacting. Nightcap on Thursday, Raiders heading to Seattle.
Raiders.
Pete Carroll asked about his return to Seattle, said it's the only game we got. I love that mentality. Pete Carroll historically is a bet on coach.
Yeah.
In the preseason, -4.5 though, Sean. That's again kind of on the fringe of being too big for anyone. -210 here on the money line. Seattle +175. McDonald does come from the Harbaugh tree, so perhaps there is some preseason matters. Small sample size, but what we learned from last year was. And by the way, I didn't mention it earlier, but Shane Steichen never won in the first week of the preseason in 2 tries. McDonald he went 2-1 in the first sample, so I guess we don't really know if he's going to be a bet on. He comes from a bet on culture, but I don't know if he's as bet on as Pete Carroll. 36.5 is the total. I think I don't like laying this big number here. Is it cheating if I say Raiders money line?
Yeah. I will take the Raiders laying the 4.5. Now they do say the sweet spot of favorites is actually 3.5 all the way up to 7. But that trend isn't even that strong. It's like 55%, but I'm fine here laying the 4.5. I think when in doubt, a new coach, new situation, looking to make a statement, I think is what I'm going to lean into, but I'm with you. I don't love laying a ton of chalk in preseason, but at 4.5, and they just signed Carson Wentz. He's back, Ryan.
It does worry me a little bit because I don't know what's going on after Geno. I'd also say if you're looking at the bet splits, it's very obvious what's going, like which team people think they have information on, and so put the Raiders in the same pile as the Bengals and the Colts. For a smaller scale, it's not quite as split. It's only 65%.
I would say this too. Geno Smith, his passing yards 53.5. I kind of like the under on that. I know, Pete Carroll wants to play him a little bit, but man, he's not going to let Geno Smith get hurt out there. 53.5 passing yards is a lot. They're going to, see if GT can run around a little bit, hand it off maybe twice to GT.
It's a double revenge spot.
I mean, GT's rushing yards are 24.5. That to me is all I need to know, that they're not going to play their starters that long. I think now maybe we're getting ahead of the info here, but I think under on Geno Smith is definitely 53.5 passing yards, even though I like Raiders 50 or -4.5. They're not going to let him play that long. That's insane. Aiden O'Connell is competent. They're going to let him get a lot of run, and his number reflects that. His number is 94.5. This is going to be an Aiden O'Connell, Drew Lock battle.
Well, I mean, what are they going to do with Milroe? I know Drew Lock's been outplaying him.
Milroe will get his look too.
Best note from one of the practice reports was quote, outside of the quarterback scrambles, Drew Lock has really been outplaying.
Well, and that's why this game won't be a lock for me, because Milroe coming in the fourth quarter and just running 10 times and getting in the end zone a couple times for a backdoor or whatever is totally possible.
He also could be like that, like bad pick six, right?
Oh yeah, certainly.
Also, don't you think Pete Carroll of all people could actually try to like be a little bit like, but like I actually want to have revenge of all the coaches? Couldn't you see Pete Carroll wanting a little preseason revenge?
That, yeah.
All right, so we're both laying it. Friday, 4 p.m. on the West Coast, Detroit, Atlanta, both bet against coaches. Neither have a very good straight up record in the preseason. Detroit laying 4 here, -190. Atlanta +160. 32.5 is the total. Again, this is a game that someone thinks they know something. You look at the bet splits, and I think very obviously money has come in on Detroit, moving the number from, what did I just say, 4? I mean, this is a
trend I do like. Teams off the double digit losses when their next game's on the road, they've done well. 57% got that courtesy of Eason. 3-1 ATS last year, and both Dan Campbell and Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris 6-9 ATS. Dan Campbell's not very good either, but Atlanta's been on a crazy bad run for preseason. 5-21-1 straight up. 5-22 ATS. Now I guess the concerning factor for me is that they're going to try and get Hendon Hooker a bunch of work, and he did not look good. But this is already game 2, so I would give them the edge there as well.
Doing a little week 0 college football handicap there.
Yeah.
I don't like being in this spot, but I can at least, even though I know Dan Campbell isn't necessarily trying to win, I can buy into the fact that I watched him leave that field. He did seem a little pissed off.
Now, Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix not playing for the Falcons, which is a sign that they're not going to give a fuck about the game. Easton Stick, maybe you worry about his.
No.
Now, let's see if we can find an Easton Stick. They don't have the Easton Stick rushing yards. That's the only thing that's intriguing to me prop wise. Yeah, this is, and Emory Jones is set at 68.5 passing yards. That to me is a sign this is going to get ugly. So I like Detroit a lot here, actually.
Yeah, this is a great
potential lock.
4 p.m. on the West Coast, joint practice game. Cleveland at Carolina. Carolina laying 6.5, -290 on the money line. Browns +240. 32.5 is the total. This moved off of the Shador news.
Yeah, the other way.
That's crazy. I'm not a Shador fan.
Yeah.
You can't move a number based on this stuff, guys. What are we doing? You're telling me they did not used to do this, Sean. They didn't used to do this.
You're sounding like a really old guy, right?
What are they doing?
You're
gonna move the number 3.5 points because Shador fucking sucks. We know he sucks.
Yeah.
All the quarterbacks that play in the preseason suck.
Canales was 0-3. 0-3 ATS last year. So Stefanski, they're both small sample size. Stefanski 6-5-1 ATS. Nothing is really strong. So when in doubt, take the dog. And I do think you want to talk about a quarterback with some motivation, quarterback with a potential chip on his shoulder, quarterback who is going to use the cheat code and scramble a bunch in a preseason game, which is how these dogs come home. They are live on the money line. They are definite. And I think it's going to be an ugly game, Ryan. To your point, they were doing joint practices and the total set at 32.5. If we like the under 32.5, there's no way you can like Carolina laying 6.5, right?
I don't understand.
Give me Cleveland +6.5.
I don't understand what. Me too. I don't understand where we are as a people. This was 33.5 early in the week, so it has been bet down. People listen to the joint practice gimmick. All right, next up we got Washington, the Commanders at the New England Patriots, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. This is another joint practice game. Also, Dan Quinn is a bet against coach.
Yep.
Vrabel neutral. New England laying 6.5 minus 270 on the money line, plus 224. The Commanders 34.5 is the total. I mean, my God, what are they doing to us?
This is tough because
under.
Okay. Yes. Under because of the 34.5, but I think I'm going to have to take New England minus 6.5. I don't like laying that much, but what we do know is Dan Quinn is very bad at preseason. And especially, I think, what are you laughing at? He's 7-16 and
very
1.
Bad at preseason. It's just a hilarious thing to be bad at.
I'm still skeptical of him as a regular head coach.
Yeah,
but very bad preseason. And this is the time to fade him. Also, too, I think new head coach is going to be a little bit more motivated than a guy who is in the NFC Conference Championship game, wants to get everyone healthy. Like, I mean, Mike Vrabel, Ryan, was diving into piles.
I don't like laying this number.
He was diving into piles.
I'm going to take it. I know he got bloody.
They're going to run this up.
I just don't like laying a big number when I'm taking the under.
Well, Drake May is going to be playing.
I know. I just don't.
This is insane.
I don't like laying a big number when I'm taking the under. That's all.
Oh wait, no. Maybe Drake May isn't going to be playing. I was looking at his week 1 numbers. Do we know if Drake May is going to be playing?
I would assume not, or a little bit. I guess a little bit. I'd want him to play a little bit. I don't have a Drake May note. Vrabel is surprisingly not super forthcoming.
Yeah.
But I guess the fade.
So it sounds like he isn't going to play. At least based on the question where they asked him if he's going to play in the preseason, and Vrabel said, "We're focused on today. He's going to get a lot of reps in the joint practice." So that I would take as his answer. That
joint
Drake
practice is the
play.
Scrimmage.
Yeah, which is fine. I get why you wouldn't want to.
That makes me not want to lay 6.5.
I'll lean into the
fade Dan Quinn. Fine.
Yeah,
I get it. Backwards hat. Fade it.
No, I mean, Ryan, you can. Don't make me.
It's not
don't
good
make
correlation.
me cook your waffle.
It's not good correlation. I'm not. It's not great. It's not great correlation. Saturday, 10 a.m. here on the West Coast. We got the Giants and the Bills. Little day bowl. Buffalo catching 1.5 points at home, plus 105 on the money line. Giants minus 125. 37.5 is the total. Now, upon further review, Dable, it turns out he's a little bit more of a neutral preseason coach. I thought he was more on the doesn't care side, but a little bit more down the middle. Now, Buffalo, on the other hand, this is their time to shine.
Well, Dable, Ryan, is 1-8 ATS. He's 4-5 straight up, but he's only covered once in the preseason.
Sure, we're talking about a coin flip game, 1.5 points. So
okay. But
either way,
I would say points.
The point is you don't fade Sean McDermott in the preseason.
Yeah, Sean McDermott, he takes this shit serious, and there's a world where on these small numbers, I always in preseason take the points. Normally, I would just default to the money line on something like this, but there are weird outcomes. They don't want to go to overtime, which means going for 2, which means 1.5, 2 points. Like, let's say the game.
You're saying that this is basically like a pick'em.
No, I'm just saying in these games, I'm not playing the plus 105 money line. I will take the plus 1.5 points with the Bills. I'm going to be on the Bills regardless because Sean McDermott, especially at home, they actually have a home edge as a preseason team, which is insane. Now, just going back to that, imagine it's 20-13. Bills score a late touchdown. It's 2019. They are not going to kick the extra point. They will go for 2. So like shit like that, you want to have the 1.5 more so even than the regular season.
Okay.
Well, what do you want, Ryan?
No. I see your point.
I think 1.5, 2 points matter way more in the preseason than in the regular season.
Yeah, I could see that. So, I mean, I would still probably in this case, like I would still probably take the money line, assuming this is +1.5 minus 110 versus +105. I would probably just take the money line, but I'm also on Buffalo with you. I think McDermott, Harbaugh and Tomlin are in a very special preseason pile.
Yes.
Next up, 1 p.m. on the West Coast on Saturday, the Houston Texans head to Minnesota. Minnesota laying 1.5 here, -125 on the money line. Texans +105, 38.5 is the total. This is the biggest total on the board, which is kind of interesting. D'Amico Ryans is a pretty good, small sample size, but pretty good results in the preseason.
He's 5-2, 4-3 ATS.
Again, he's a dog, so fine to look at that straight up number.
Yeah,
and more importantly, on the other side, Kevin O'Connell is a
good fade.
I do not care about the preseason.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure why Minnesota's favorite here. Honestly, I'm sure it has something to do with JJ.
JJ McCarthy is going to be out there dealing.
But people are overreacting to what happens in the first quarter of these preseason games.
Yeah.
These preseason games are decided in the second half. That's when the circus shit happens. Dallas taking on the Los Angeles Rams as they have.
Oh, so you're on Houston.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You always fade O'Connell.
Yeah, but usually,
I agreed with you and said yes. I also closed with the point of O'Connell bad in the preseason.
Yeah, it's always good to be like, hey, I'm on Texans +1.5 to remind people.
People should pay attention more closely if they're not.
Well, and also, are you talking? What about JJ McCarthy in the preseason? Are you doing anything?
I'm sure he's going to look great.
Okay.
So if there are numbers on JJ McCarthy, I'd want to see him do something. And you know what he's looked pretty good doing this preseason, throwing on air, which is basically preseason defense.
It seems like they only have the Thursday and Friday games, so they don't have this game up yet. They do have the kicking number for Tyler Bass on Saturday, and a couple other. And the kickers for the Houston and Minnesota game, but they don't have JJ McCarthy's number yet.
Yeah, I would yards over. That would be one I'd probably feel okay doing that with. So Houston +1.5, but if you want to that actually Houston Buffalo, that's a fun little Saturday parlay. Could see myself getting involved with that. All right, next up we got the joint practice happening in Oxnard, California. Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. Rams 2.5 point home dogs, +110 on the money line, -130 for the Cowgirls. 33.5 is the total. This is a total that came down a point as well, but we're going to take the under because they practiced together. McVay, you can't get this is I don't know what we do here. I think maybe we just pass. You're not supposed to bet on McVay.
No, he's pretty.
Now the difference is he's
actually okay ATS. He's been bad straight up. He's 9-15 straight up.
He's a dog.
12-11-1 ATS.
The dog.
Okay, so yeah, I'll take. I'll roll the dice here. Take the Rams.
Went 2-1 last year in the preseason.
I mean,
all right. You know what? Here's the selling point. You say this. You say, well, with Stafford's back situation, he's getting the epidural.
They want some good quarterback run.
They got a real competition on our hands. People are talking about Daniel Jones versus Anthony Richardson, but give me Jimmy G versus Stetson Bennett any day. Which, by the way, apparently Stetson Bennett looking pretty good. So,
yeah, no,
and
Stetson Bennett seems like a guy who would care about this game and do really well.
And Devontae Adams has him and Jimmy G are on good terms. So FYI, are we teasing the Rams? Do we like that as a nice teaser?
Do not tease in the preseason.
4 p.m. on the West Coast. We got the Steelers and the Jags down in Florida. Man, it's gonna be hot down there for those Pittsburgh folk. Although I think the Northeast might be hotter than Florida right now. Anyway, Jacksonville -3, -145 on the money line. First 3-point spread all episode. +125 for the Steelers. 35.5 is the total. Tomlin is just maybe the ATS numbers will tell me something different, but as a dog, Tomlin in the preseason is the same as Tomlin as a dog in the regular season, which is yes, please.
Well, it was weird. They were on an incredible run. They were Many were calling them the next next Ravens. But last year they were 0-3 straight up and ATS.
Oh, Tomlin does not like that. Fucking working here.
Now before that, 18-4 straight up, 16-6 ATS run. Overall, he's been great in the preseason, 40-27 straight up. The issue now, it does sound like, Roethlisberger's angling to play in the preseason.
Oh, that was a great slip.
Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, Roethlisberger, same difference.
I don't think Rodgers has ever been rapey. He's been weird.
You don't know. We don't. How do you get that wife, Kramer? We don't. More questions.
Have we met
answers.
her yet? Have we? I don't think we've met her at all.
No, she's AI. I would go back
that
to
would be so good.
You're getting 3 points with Pittsburgh, so
yeah,
that's all I need.
What are we talking? We're still talking about this game?
Yeah, I know you're trying to get out of here, Ryan.
No, I'm just saying. What do we got to talk about? I love the Jags
Pittsburgh
this year.
Now, Liam Cohen could be interesting because maybe he is a new head coach and maybe he cares.
Young guys, I'm assuming, don't care about preseason.
Yeah, the analytics say don't give a fuck about.
And he comes from he essentially comes from anyone who has touched McVay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna assume you don't care about the preseason.
You know what I care about? Circa Survivor, Circa Million. Great time. Come on out. If you've never been to the Circa, what are you waiting for? I saw Mike in the chat saying his name already engraved at the Circa Long Bar next to Matthew Austin. Matthew Austin, a graduate of DGen University. Yeah, come out, and the Long Bar is right there, right next to the VSiN studio. You guys can come any Friday. We're doing a show out there. We're always down, drink, hang out. We were shooting craps with some listeners last time we were there.
No, definitely down to shoot crap. Fully converted Sean from a blackjack player.
Love craps. I finally got on a good roll as a roller. I got a strategy now. I'm feeling good.
I think also it helps to feel fairly confident. You know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just feel like you're a passenger.
Yeah. It's a great time, Circa, and of course, get in on the contest. $6 million guaranteed for Survivor. I see D Bettis always locked in, knows what he's doing. D Bettis, why are you not in Circa Million? You could be $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, Grandissimo.
Needs that teaser
fun
contest.
Yes, bunch of fun contests. It's all great, and of course, head over to footballcontest.com. Sign up for the contest. Use our promo code SGP, $50 off the proxy fees. But come say hi anytime you're staying at the Circa property. Promo code SGP15, get you 15% off. Good times over at the Circa. And of course, we're also brought to you by Rhythm and their new Bet Signals. Smart Signals. Again, they just keep finding new ways to win. AI detects the patterns, the data. They do a great job of putting you in a great spot, a great position. MLB Smart Signals have been on a heater. WNBA Smart Signals 27-16 since the All-Star break. They were all over the green dildo. Get your 7-day free trial over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Sign up now. Get the tool. Start playing around with it, because when the NFL modeling drops, you don't want to be lost. College football as well. I mean, week 0, get your shit together, guys. Week 0 is right around the corner.
It's here.
It's the same weekend as contest weekend over at the Circa. So get your 7-day free trial now. Dial your, get ready. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
All right, moving along. Shout out to SGPN Stables. Just had a nice little cash there, Sean.
Oh,
Tennessee heads to Tampa Bay. Another, which by the way, I didn't do much research on this, but I saw a couple people mention it in passing that Tennessee is off on a 10-day road trip. They're maybe going to another joint practice next week. Also, they were already complaining. If you haven't seen a Brian Callahan interview, he's a total beta, but he was already complaining about going to Florida. It sounds like me and the humidity. We always talk about, well, it's hot in Tennessee. They're complaining about going to Florida. So
yeah, and Cam Ward's, I think, I'm optimistic about Cam Ward long term, but not optimistic about Callahan. Just the way he handled that Will Levis thing. I keep going back to that, because as we've already done the Titans team preview, but hey, new information comes to light. Okay, he's looking good in camp. All right, but they just don't have anything around him.
Aggressive guys tend to look good in camp because there's less going on. This is a joint practice game. Tennessee -3.5.
So we're on the under.
-195 on the money line. Bucks plus 165. 32.5 is the total. Todd Bowles is near a fade coach.
Yeah,
but it's more neutral. And Callahan is a very small sample size, but he did sweep the board last year straight up. So
this one's tough. I don't. My thought would take Callahan, but at 3.5, it's like
here's my.
If we like the under 32.5, can you really take minus 3.5?
I've become more and more worried that Cam Ward's going to lead the league in interceptions, and I think he's going to.
But Cam Ward sounds like he will play.
Yeah, I think he's going to be spectacular, good and bad. I think everything we saw in college that required those crazy comebacks, like him throwing bad interceptions, I think we're going to see all of that. And so I don't really know what to do here. By the way, this is another one that came down 2 points in this case.
Well, the real news is Teddy Bridgewater going to play? Because Teddy Bridgewater late add to the Bucks. If Teddy Bridgewater is playing, I'm all over the Bucks.
Are you up to speed with his situation?
With the
off field. It certainly there could be another version of the story, but it does seem like
no. Basically, he was trying to help out this local high school team, and he was hooking them up with like Uber rides or something because it was a rough neighborhood and whatever. He's helping kids on a football team, and they are hitting him with like improper benefits or
this reminds me of
some bullshit bureaucracy thing.
Well,
there's no other side to this.
Well, clearly the school must have been winning because someone wanted to go after it. Secondly, the biggest problem in youth sports is the lack of people who are there just to be there for the kids, aka volunteering. And so what a crazy thing. It reminds me of there was if you remember that tragedy with the Baylor, I think it was football team, kid died, maybe multiple kids died. Anyway, one of the girlfriends on the track team got in trouble for taking money for a bus fare to go back to like whatever horrible shit was going on. Yeah, these rules are actually fairly
very
retarded.
So I will take.
But you're worried about Bridgewater balling out.
I'm gonna take Tampa Bay in the 3.5.
I'm gonna unmark Callahan a bet on coach also.
Well, we don't know. I mean, it's 3 games. What are you doing, Kramer? Are you taking Tennessee or what are you?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Tennessee. I think I'm going to take the team that is probably a little bit. The only thing Todd Bowles has going for him is the idea that there's some. I just think many of the
Bowles doesn't care, but Teddy Bridgewater might. Now I don't even know if he's going to play. This one's a tough one.
So if I let the bet splits be my tiebreaker, it's certainly a Titans game. Someone thinks they know something about the Titans.
So this case, you like this team?
It's because it seems a little less related to the ultimately just who's playing a couple drives in the first quarter. I mean, it went from 3 to 3.5. Sean, this isn't going from like plus 1.5 to minus 6.5. 5 p.m. on the West Coast. Kansas City Chiefs head to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Cardinals minus 1.5, minus 130 on the money line. Chiefs plus 110. 37.5 is the total. This Cardinals team. You know how you can kind of read between the knuckleheads like Rappaport and the other like media professionals who do the training camp stuff.
I love how much you hate.
They're just going to suck off everyone. Which, by the way, if you're not watching the training camp stuff,
there's
on
like
NFL
a couple
Network,
awkward moments with
Steve
Rappaport.
Smith has been crushing Rappaport. It's hilarious. And Steve Smith seems like he's just there, like stoned out of his brain, wearing sunglasses. But Baldy is a truth teller.
Yes,
and Baldy gets excited about everyone, but when Baldy runs into something that he's very excited about, he can't help himself. And they were doing a segment earlier today, Sean, and I kid you not, Baldy was not listening to whatever they thought, they talked about in pre-production. He was not paying attention. He just went right back into a Cardinals take. He is very high on this team. He's very excited about the idea that this defense is flying under the radar.
Okay.
He's very excited about some of the pieces here. None of this has anything to do with the preseason, but I think just in general, the vibe, the Gannon vibes, it seems like the team, the culture, whatever you want to call it, is there. And I don't think I know Andy Reid's not necessarily a bet against coach in the preseason, but it's hard for me to. It would be hard for me to bet on the Chiefs in the preseason.
They're both kind of. I mean, again, Gannon's only 6 games. Reid is very much not a guy who cares, but it's just been like 500, 46 and 50 straight up. There's no.
Well, they tend to have
real
good
angle
quarterback, like not
quarterback depth.
Yeah, that's generally what I mean. That's the game, right?
So what are you doing? You're taking taking Arizona. I
think I want to take Arizona.
Yeah, I'll take Arizona, but
solely just because I'm excited. I mean, also who's playing quarter? I mean, the Cardinals are unique because it's probably going to be Clayton Tune and Jacoby Brissett might play a little bit. Kyler
Tune time. I mean, Jacoby Brissett is their second. He's got to play a decent amount, and Jacoby Brissett is a dog. Like he's out there trying to earn a paycheck.
Well, but then you have Bailey Zappi and Gardner Minshew. This is why it's a difficult situation.
Yeah, I will take Arizona, but I'm not. Will not make the.
We'll take the home team. Also there was a lot of talk about how the Cardinal they were excited because it's a primetime game. They were excited to have. I guess they've had more fan environment shit this camp, and they were a lot of comments about how they were excited to have this game and kind of show out in front of the fans. So I'm with you. Let's take the Cardinals. Another 5 p.m. kick on Saturday here on the West Coast. Green Bay and the New York Jets. Green Bay laying 2.5 -150 on the money line. Jets plus 125. 37.5 is the total. It's starting to be pretty clear that Justin Fields still bad at throwing the ball based on because if you're not throwing the ball well in the preseason, it's usually not a good thing.
No, the optimism of Justin Fields is not about his ability, his throw. It's just not. It's about him running. It's about Braylon Allen, Breece Hall, like this, and playing good defense. Also, the Jets quietly. Now we'll see if this transfers over with the new head coach there, but they're on a 12-3-1 straight up, 12-4 ATS. I actually like the Jets here a lot. Give me the JETS Jets as a small dog.
Who's on their roster? And I assume is going to play a big chunk of this game. Adrian Martinez, spring football guy.
Oh, there you go.
Tyrod's banged up. I don't think Tyrod's healthy. So I think we're going to get a healthy dose of Adrian Martinez in the second half. And that's a good thing.
The problem is Malik Willis has been good. Even winning some games outright.
Do we think he plays a ton?
Packers are interesting. There's not a huge.
I feel like you figured that out last year. Malik Willis is your backup. This might be Taylor Elgersma and Sean Clifford.
Yeah, and Clifford, I'm a little skeptical of, but he's a guy who will run. LaFleur is 7-9 straight up, 7-9 ATS. I'll ride the Jets, heater or whatever they've been on.
Also, we need to check in on the health, but we always good to note that Israel Abanikanda is on this Packers team.
Revenge game.
Pretty low on the depth chart. The Jets cut him. We'll have to keep a close eye out to see what his numbers look like. But yeah, I like that one. All right.
So you're on the Jets plus 2.5.
I am also on the Jets plus 2.5. You take the 2.5, right? I think
you do. Yeah.
I think that's what they teach in school. Next up, 5:30 p.m. on the West Coast, Saturday night. It's going to be really awkward to just, I'm doing something with the wife this weekend. We're going out of town. Last calm before the storm.
Yeah. You're trying to go to Vegas this weekend, right?
That was her choice. She wanted to go to
okay.
Because I said, well, one of the options, of course, is I do the show from Vegas. Yeah. And she likes the free room idea. That's always attractive. But it's gonna be Saturday. We're gonna be enjoying ourselves by the beach, and it's gonna be like, well, you gotta check in on these preseason.
Sorry, honey. Jets
games.
Green Bay.
Broncos Niners. This is another joint practice game. Niners catching 6.5 points at home, plus 240 on the money line. Broncos minus 290. 34.5 is the total. This number is not moved for those keeping track at home. We're both on the under, and another game where someone knows something about some thing. No, according to DK, 95% of their handle is on the Broncos. You want to talk about using their software to investigate stuff? Like, how does that not information trading?
I'll take San Francisco plus 6.5. I know they're banged up. I'm guessing that's what's causing this crazy because Peyton has
is that good or bad though? You know, like if you're banged up and thin, is that a good or a bad thing in the preseason?
Oh, I don't.
More
I don't
guys
care.
hungry to make the roster. That's what I mean.
No, that's what I'm explaining why I think they're 6.5 point favorites, and I'm saying it doesn't matter to me. I will still take them plus 6.5. I don't. I mean, Peyton is what? He's like dead fit 500. So is Shanahan. It's a toss up. Why not take the team getting 6.5 points and the under 34.5? They're not gonna show anything. This is gonna be an ugly ass game. 6.5 points will go a long way.
Yeah. Again, my normal reaction to a big number in the preseason is how can you possibly lay it? And I've only lied once on this episode. I am on the Niners catching 6.5.
Thanks for that.
The under is the real play there. The joint practice unders will be bigger bets than my side bets this week. That's just healthy bankroll management.
Shout out to Pantomime in the chat.
Hello. What's up, Napster?
We back, boys. Still the same Napster profile picture though, just so Kramer could remember me. Yes, shout out.
That. I like how he also realizes that visual aids always helpful in the memory process.
Shout out to Andrew Robb. Good to hear from him. Checking back in.
Nice. Yeah. I've seen him grinding in the best ball streets out there. So Sean, they did it for us. Week 1 of the preseason, Sunday morning, 10 a.m. on the West Coast, just like it will be in a month from now, roughly. The Miami Dolphins and the Chicago Bears, who have been practicing with each other. Bears laying 3 at home, minus 160 on the money line. Dolphins plus 135. 32.5 is the total. This number has come down 3 points since we talked about it, Sean, last Friday. So we're on the under still. We don't care that it's 32.5. We're getting dangerously close to unknown key numbers. What are you doing the rest of the way here though? Cause on one hand, Ben Johnson, he fell out of the Dan Campbell tree of maybe not caring in the preseason, but he's also got some shit to work out with his quarterback, right?
That's fair. I'll take Miami in the 3. This feels like pretty toss up game, but I like. I mean, Quinn Ewers, I think, could be the deciding factor. He's got a lot to prove. He's been lighting it up.
I didn't see this coming.
No, I mean, you look at the Bears depth chart.
I forgot. My bad.
No, but I mean, the Bears quarterback depth chart is pretty solid as well.
Yeah,
Tyson Bagent and Case Keenum, those are good preseason quarterbacks. But I think you're going to get a lot of Caleb Williams.
Oh my God,
or a decent chunk. I'll take the 3 points.
Yeah. This is, I think, the one game, and I'll check the splits so we know. Bet money. There's not been a ton of movement, but money on the Bears. I'll get. You know what? Give me the Bears. I don't even know if we see Keenum. I think if this is. I mean, Sean, if you knew that Tyson Bagent was going to play 3 quarters, would you really fade them here? Or are you that committed to this Quinn Ewers Rookie of the Year ticket?
I do like Quinn Ewers, and he's looked great in camp.
Easy to look great in camp.
It is.
Yeah.
When you're good.
Yeah. Joe Milton now playing Dak Prescott. Some guys are good in the preseason. Quinn Ewers had a lot of time to show us why he was the badass 5-star mullet recruit, and I didn't see a minute of it in college.
Yeah.
So I'm skeptical that skeptical that he showed up to the NFL and is going to be slinging it.
I'm just touting my CLV. What do you think?
I know you are.
What do you think his Rookie of the Year price is now over at?
What do you have?
I have 300 to 1.
300 to 1. His price now has to be under 60 to 1.
Looking this up live
under
on
60
the mobile
to 1.
on the Circa mobile app.
I mean, the way he's burning up camp, it's definitely under 100 to 1.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Scroll all the way down to the bottom because they. So if you ever go on the Circa app and you're like, how the hell did they come up with this order? They basically they sort it by the opening price. And then it doesn't change. So if prices change, it becomes a little out of order. Do you find it?
I'm just laughing at some of these names, like Will Campbell, 600 to 1. Kyle
not winning.
Monangai 75-1.
Not winning the award. All right, did you find it?
I'm looking.
Oh,
Ryan.
you're still searching.
Yeah.
Oh,
keep,
okay.
Keep
I'll
vamping.
keep talking. Yeah. And yeah. So to Sean's point, so if you don't know, he has a ticket on Quinn Ewers at 300-1, like we just
Cam
discussed.
Scadaboo is 70-1.
I have some CLV there, 90-1.
Okay.
He's banged up though. That
Yeah.
should go back the other way. So he's committing to that bit so hard he's going to take
Quinn
Miami
Ewers
personally.
110-1.
Oh,
I mean,
it's not a good price.
CLV. Let's
Not
go.
Oh, you want to talk CLV?
Yeah.
Let's see
And
what
Jalen
this.
Waddle?
Let's see how low this Josh Sweat Defensive Player of the Year taking number.
Jalen
is.
Waddle. We should have a CLV off, right?
I'm not interested in.
I guess
talking
the
about
Jalen Waddle will crush you, but
Yeah, you and your friends.
yep.
All right, I'm on Chicago. Is this the first game we disagreed on?
Yeah, you've been copying all my locks.
Yep. Copying.
No, we Tennessee, Tampa Bay. On different sides.
You're right. Twice. Last game, and again they broke up the Sunday game, so we get one at each window. 1:05 p.m. on the West Coast. The Saints taking on the Chargers. Chargers long rest after the Hall of Fame game, catching a point and a half here, plus 100 on the money line. Saints minus 120. 36.5 is the total. I mean, I don't want to have a recency bias, but Trey Lance looked pretty good. I think you have to apply the same week 0 logic we did with the Lions.
And there is a trend. Teams coming off preseason wins of 20 plus points and more that are favored. Now, obviously, the Chargers are not favored in this, but it's close. But teams coming off 20-point wins, 26-7 straight up, 20, 10 and 2 ATS since 2013. So I love the Chargers here. I think this is a good spot for them.
Yeah, is Trey Lance going to be good?
In the preseason, yeah, I think so.
If the Chargers end up trading Justin Herbert because Trey Lance is so good, would that be a hilarious storyline? I mean, he looked preseason good.
Yeah. What are you doing, Ryan?
Yeah, no, I'm not fading Harbaugh's in the preseason.
It's a solid strategy.
Yeah.
So Chargers plus 1.5. All right, we got 3.
By the way, real quick update: we've now seen some pictures of Najee Harris with a helmet on.
Yeah, but his eye's not open; it's closed.
Can't see the eye.
No,
so we can't. No decision.
I still think
over 1.5 eyes.
Well, and then Harbaugh said he has he's developed advanced echolocation, which immediately I think of like dolphins, bats.
Yeah.
I don't think of running backs. I hope he has 2 eyes, but you understand why you would be skeptical.
It's like Daredevil, essentially, right?
And
what was the key thing with Daredevil? Why did he use that type of echolocation? Because he was blind. Oh, interesting. Did Harbaugh accidentally tell us that Najee Harris is blind?
Echolocation tells me you're not using both of your eyes.
Or what if it's neither? What if what if he's blind out there? That's an amazing comeback player of the year.
Someone
story.
in the chat saying maybe he has pink eye. That that on top of a firework accident is quite a
I think
bad
you
break.
probably get pink eye if you blow your eye out. I think it probably just comes with the situation.
I feel bad for the guy. I hope his eyes are right, but it does not look good.
Have you? Yeah, but also like you watch dumbasses with fireworks. I mean, I don't think people were saying they felt bad for JPP. A lot of jokes.
Oh, there you go.
A lot of jokes.
Okay.
Well, there were a lot of jokes. What were we just talking about? I was halfway looking up a price. Oh, Najee Harris comeback player of the year. That's what I was looking
No, you can't win comeback player of the year in the same year.
Yeah, he's not listed. Talk to Florio about this.
All right, Kramer, 3 locks and a dog.
3 locks for the preseason.
Okay, we can do 2.
No, that's fine. I like 3.
Maybe we do 3 for the regular season.
So we're excluding the
totals are not locks.
So we're excluding the 7 joint practice totals.
Yes.
Okay. Reminder: the joint practice totals are Ravens, Colts, Browns, Panthers, Redskins, Patriots, Rams, Cowboys, Titans, Bucks, Niners, Broncos, and Dolphins, Bears. Lock number 1. I think the Houston game really stood out to me, so we're gonna take Houston plus 1.5. Give me Was that surprising? Give me the Ravens. Hopefully you're listening to this on Thursday. Ravens +6, mega lock of the century, and give me the Geno Smith and Pete Carroll come back to Seattle and win a pointless game.
Okay,
another Thursday lock. Dog. Let's see here. It's probably got to be Tomlin, right? But let's do a big dog. Some these big dogs always hit from time to time. Give me the Browns +240.
Oh, Shador season.
You know what? No, you know what? You can take Shador. I'm sure you're going to take it. Give me the Niners +240.
San Francisco +240.
These, yeah. I mean, I would take Philly if Sirianni really didn't.
I'll take Baltimore +6. Like that a lot. I will take. I actually like the Lions. The Detroit -4. I like the teams coming off the 20-point loss going on the road. They did seem really pissed off. Atlanta is a good team to fade in the preseason. I like all that. My other lock, give me Buffalo +1.5. The fact that they're a dog is crazy. Ooh, and I do like
just.
I will go.
You're gonna be
go
upset
Pittsburgh
if Jameis does accidentally rip your heart out.
I'll be fine with that. So Baltimore +6 lock, Detroit -4 lock, Buffalo +1.5 mega lock, and the dog. Pittsburgh on the money line. The Steelers get back to business there, but I do like Cleveland as well.
No, flip me back to Cleveland then if you're not going to take them.
And what's the Cleveland money line? I like that. I wouldn't even mind a little parlay, Browns Steelers parlay. I'll give that as a bonus play for my.
I'll join
clients.
you there.
Oh, okay.
I'd also add the.
We want to do a round robin parlay.
Ooh. So all right, what's the proper number of legs? 3, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Baltimore.
All right. AFC North. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, round robin moneyline parlay for the true.
Fuck yeah!
You know I'm a degenerate.
All right, what about any sort of underdog entry, Ryan? I highlighted Geno Smith, lower 53.5 passing yards.
Let me pull up these numbers.
Tanner McKee, higher. The Mormon Missile, 93.5 passing yards, chip on his shoulder.
Mormon Missile. That sounds diabolical. All right, so my instincts are to say if Anthony Richardson's playing, he's going to run the ball, right?
Okay.
This seems too easy.
19.5 rushing yards, higher.
Give me Riley Leonard over 64.5 passing yards.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to have enough time.
I think he's going to play more time
than Daniel Jones.
I think they're both going to play. Like I think. Yeah, I'm good with this one. I'm
staying away from Riley Leonard.
Okay.
I'll take your Anthony Richardson.
Oh, you don't like that one?
Riley Leonard? No, I'm not. I'm not putting that in my entry.
Okay.
I think 64.5 is way too high. I will play Anthony Richardson higher, 19.5. So I'll do Anthony Richardson higher, 19.5. Tanner McKee, 93.5 passing yards, and then Geno Smith lower, 53.5 passing yards. $100 entry returns you $600 over on the Underdog Pick'em, and use that promo code SGPN over Underdog Fantasy. Kramer, what are you doing? You're playing? What's your official 3-pick Underdog entry?
So let's do just quarterbacks running. We'll do the AR-15 rushing with the Jalen Milroe rushing, which is 26.5.
Okay, I like that.
I'm tempted to say, you know what, Hendon Hooker steered us wrong last time with Shador Sanders.
He's gonna run
to throw an interception.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Okay, that's a hater one. I'm not gonna play that. But
what do you mean?
6 points.
You can't expect him to play a ton of time and not throw an interception.
Yeah. We said the same thing about Trey Lance. So you got Shador higher interception. Jalen Milroe higher 26.5 rushing yards, and Anthony Richardson higher 19.5 rushing yards. $100 entry returns you $624. UnderdogFantasy.com promo code SGPN. Kramer, what do we got coming up for 2-a-days NFL team previews?
They do have the Fairbairn number up if you wanted to get down early on that. That was solely for the man in the box. It's our last week of team previews next week, but this week we finish up the week with Minnesota, which will be interesting to hear Sean's take on the Vikings.
Yeah.
And Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then, like I said, then we close it out. We basically have we're down to like our final 10, Sean.
The phrase that pays, again, 1 word per episode. Get all 32 words in order. Submit the 32 words, and you got a chance to win $1,000 Circa Future. Thanks for everyone slamming over on the chat was lit tonight. YouTube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. Appreciate everyone sending in the comments over on Spotify, answering all of those. I know you're tossing us 5 stars, helping us climb the ranks against corporate gambling.
One more thing to promote. Like, I know a couple people have reached out wanting to know when the next time we're doing a pack break.
Oh,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
And of course, we'll be back. 2-a-days continue tomorrow. And of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, Stack of the Money Green. He's Ryan.
Love the round robin parlay, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.
I want better fucking execution.